Good evening, everybody, from the Water Arena. I am Brian McNamee, EQN Sports, your source for horse sports. We make it a point to cover all kinds of horse shows, horse events. We were at the BFI last week. We are bringing you coverage from the Cinch NRCHA Stallion Stakes in Las Vegas, Nevada. And joining me today, I've got a pretty special guest. That is Miss Lucinda Rose David. Lucinda, it's good to have you.
Hi, it's good. Thank you for having me, Brian.
Absolutely. So first off, let's kind of talk about your background before we get rolling into what you did out there yesterday, because that was pretty great too. But Lucinda Rose and her family are East-West Equine. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
So kind of talk to me about what East-West Equine does. I know you have some mare incentives at certain events, and mare power is kind of near and dear to your heart, even though you're at the Stallion Stakes right here.
Yes, absolutely. So East-West Equine started about 2 or 3 years ago when we purchased our first brood mare, Hotness. She was very special to some friends of ours, and we had the opportunity, total God thing, that we were able to own her, and we had a few babies out of her, and it really sparked a passion for breeding horses and showing quality rein cow horses, and it was such a great industry. We wanted to be a part of it as much as we could. And over the years, we've collected several great brood mares. We have Fady Lou, SR Sassy Cat, who've been in training with Deacon Equine. And we've had several babies over the past few years, and they're just starting to really make their own in the cow horse arena. And mare power has always been the foundation of what we believe in East-West Equine, and so we wanted to kind of bring that special recognition through the mare incentives that we have here with the NRCHA.
That's awesome. And talking about those mare incentives, you guys, it's $5,000 to the highest placing mare at the celebration of the world's greatest, and then also
Yes.
it's snaffle bit for
It's
charity,
the world's
correct?
greatest horseman.
World's greatest.
Yes.
Okay, so $5,000 in the world's greatest, $5,000 at the snaffle bit, and $2,500 at the Western Derby and the Hackmore Classic in Tulsa.
Yes, that's correct.
That is absolutely incredible. That's a lot of money right there. That's $15,000 just for mares.
We like to give back to we like to give it like that way riders don't have to pay to enter our incentive. We just give it straight to the riders, and it goes into the mares LTE, and as well as it also puts those earnings on their dams, and then their great dams, and so it's a thing that gives back, and we like to give those special mares the recognition that they deserve.
Well, and that's one thing the NRCHA has been doing that is awesome, is recognizing those mares like Scooter's Daisy Dukes, Sula Jewel Forever.
Yes,
there
absolutely.
are some great mares. The mares that you mentioned that you have. Do you remember what any of those sires were to those first few colts that you got out of those mares?
So out of Hotness, we have a colt out of filly out of Stevie Ray Vaughan, Metallics MVP. We had a Smooth Talking Style born this year. We've had, Metallic Cats, Dual Reyeshes, Raising the Cash, the like. We like to book our mares to some of the best, and we believe in, ride greatness, you want to breed greatness, so.
That is absolutely the truth. It doesn't matter what discipline in the Western sports. Stevies are always great. I remember the first time I saw Metallic MVP. That was Tim Smith was showing him at a cutting in California. Mm-hmm. It was a 78. I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. So speaking of those mares, you ride a pretty good one. You ride Rebel with a Cause. Tell me about Rebel.
Oh, yes. Well, Electra, she is a force to be reckoned with. We had the opportunity to own her from a good friend of ours, Brooke Wharton, a few months back, and it was just, we couldn't pass it up. She has just been phenomenal with Sarah in the Open, and then to have the opportunity to own her and show her, and then also have the potential to breed her in the future and add her to our East-West Equine program, it was opportunity of a lifetime.
Absolutely. You talked about Sarah. So Sarah Dawson showed her, and
yes,
she did outstanding on that horse. That is a very, very nice horse. What is something that has made that an easy transition for you to be able to be successful on her?
Just her attitude. her willingness to please. Sarah, she's coming from a phenomenal program over at the Dawsons, and then Lee and Ashley Deacon, who we have our horses with, they've just made that switch so easy. They've been right there every step of the way. They know, keeping Electra up to where she needs to be, and then it makes it easy for me to just get on there and let her do what she knows how to do.
You're riding winners. You're surrounded by winners with Lee. I mean, Snafflebit Futurity champion right there. You're a winner.
Mm-hmm.
You went ahead and put up the high score in the herd work yesterday. You put up a 224. Did you realize that's 6 points ahead of second?
It hasn't quite sunk in yet. I mean, to hear that number is like, that's the highest I've ever marked on anything. And so it was just a euphoric feeling to go out there and just throw down on that mare. I mean,
take a look at him. What do you say, Josh? So this is your first cow. You only cut 2 cows. Talk to me about what you're feeling, what you're looking for in your cow, how your horse is.
Well, so we got out there, and these cows are kind of sticky. They like to stick together real well, and so we had to be real slow in those cuts. And Dustin Mills and Farron Hightower are up top helping me in the turn back, and so they were real great talking me through everything. And I mean, she handled her own. It got tough and it got fast, but she was right there every step of the way, and she just never let up, never gave up. It's just special grit and a lot of heart.
You know, the one thing I like about that mare is when you're watching her on a cow, like, she's not only watching that cow, but her ears are going, like, you can tell that she is locked onto that cow and she knows what's happening, and she reads the cow very, very well.
Yes, she loves it.
You do a great job just letting her work, and sometimes that is the absolute hardest thing anyone can ever do. So,
yes.
Rebel with a Cause by Metallic Rebel out of Danny Little Step. You're telling me that the LTEs on that horse are over 75,000, right around there.
Yes, that'd be correct, with her earnings from the Futurity, and then.
Okay, and how old are you?
And then her Derby, and then me. So.
Right. How old are you now?
I'm 16, just turned 16.
So you are 16 years old, and your LTEs are over 65,000.
Okay.
That is pretty dang
All
good
I
if you ask me.
A bunch of good horses and a lot of good help, a bunch of prayers. I mean, prayers answered, dreams come true.
Faith and action at work right there. That is all it is. So, yeah, that was you're leading going into the rain work. How's your rain work feeling?
I mean, we're starting that prep now, and we'll go about noon tomorrow. And, it's kind of the same mentality coming in the rain work as the herd work. She knows what to do. Like, just go out there, trust her, one maneuver at a time. Don't get ahead of yourself. Just go out there and let it all hang out and show them what you got. And because, I know I have the horse to do it, and I've got the support to do it. And so we're just going to go out there and have some fun.
Well, if anyone can build your confidence enough to just stay on top and keep on a rolling, it's Lee and Ashley. That is for sure. 56 boxers.
Yes.
You came out on top in the herd work with a 224. Great job. Good luck tomorrow. And we're just going to we're going to be rooting for you. That is for sure.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Well, that is going to do it for our coverage of the Cinch NRCHA Stallion Stakes 2025 out there in Las Vegas, Nevada. The beautiful South Point Hotel and Casino. Big thanks to Michael Gahn, Paula Gahn for hosting that event. We will be back here on the NRCHA Facebook page all week long covering all the action. Keep it right here